Square root is another type of equation that you're asked to find a table of values for and graph in week 5. And square root can be the trickiest because, generally speaking, a square root graph is going to take one of several shapes. It will have a definite starting point. And it'll go off to the right like this, or it can go down like this, or it can go this way, or it can go this way. So basically it's like a sideways parabola, but anytime you graph a square root graph, it's just one of these pieces. Like this might be the graph, or this might be the graph, or this might be the graph, or if we go with one more color, this might be the graph. So when you graph a square root function, it's going to have a definite starting point and it's going to be just half of a parabola. In order to find that definite starting point, we need to look at what's underneath the radical. I'm attempting to graph y equals negative square root of x plus 1. And for some reason, my stylus doesn't always work, but I'm attempting to graph this. So what I do is I set x plus 1 equal to 0. Now the reason I'm doing this is because you can only take the square root of a positive number or 0. So by setting it equal to 0, I find the lowest value that x can be. So I'm going to start my table at negative 1, and then I'm going to go up from there and plug a few points in. So my y value is going to be negative the square root of negative 1 plus 1, negative square root 0, which is just 0 because 0 doesn't have a sign. Then I'm going to go the negative of 0 plus 1. So I'm going to have the negative of the square root of 1. Well, the square root of 1 is 1, but I have this negative sign out in front, so that would be negative 1. I'm now going to plug in 2. Well, I'm going to get negative square root 3, which is going to be about negative 1.73. Negative square root 4, that would be my dog, just a second. And if it's negative square root 4, that's going to end up equaling negative 2. Finally, if I put 4 in there, that would be negative the square root of 4 plus 1. That would be negative square root of 5. So that's going to be a little more than 2. When it comes time to graph these, what happens then is I'm going to create one of those 4 curves, but this is going to be my starting point. So I'm going to start at negative 1, 0 with the first point on my curve. So now when I go to 0, I get negative 1, 2, I get negative 1.73, at 3 I get negative 2. Having a heck of a time getting those points graphed tonight. But the general curve then, just a second, the general curve is going to go like this, and that's what my shape is going to look like. So now I need to come up with the domain and range. Well, the square root function is the toughest one because it has a specific domain and range. And we have to consider where it started at, which would have been negative 1, 0 is where this graph started. So the domain started at negative 1 and was every point after that. So I'm going to write this as negative 1 to infinity. Now the entire range, notice, starts at 0 and the entire range takes place below 0. So my range, going to need a parenthesis, is going to go from negative infinity to 0. Because all of the y values are negative numbers with a ceiling at 0. Is this graph a function? Well, if I draw vertical lines through the part that I've sketched, every vertical line is going to intersect it in just one point. So yes, it's a function. In all of these, we've talked about transformations, and every one I said, what if I want to move it left 2 and down 3? So if I want to move it left 2, I replace x with x plus 2. So this would become negative, and I would put x plus 2 in place of the x. So I would have, instead of x plus 1, I would have radical x plus 2 plus 1. And then if I want to move it down 3, I'm going to add a minus 3 out the back. So negative radical x plus 3 minus 3 would move this graph 2 left and down 3.